What up? So in today's video, we're gonna talk about the 5 things that I love and the 5 things that I hate about my 1999 H22 4-wheel drive turbo Suzuki Alto Works. And I got some exciting news that's gonna happen this week and next week. I told you guys, and like I say this a lot, and I hope you guys really take me seriously, but I am building this channel to something amazing in 2024. Tomorrow we're going to the port to pick up a K-truck. I'm not gonna tell you what K-truck it is just yet, but I'm gonna go pick up a K-truck. We're gonna do like a 36-hour, maybe like 72-hour build. We're gonna transform it from whatever it looks like when I pick it up to what it's gonna look like when I'm done. And then I think I'm also gonna make some videos on a Mitsubishi Toppo BJ, the one that we picked up with David from Mindy Imports. And I even got a trade offer for the cappuccino that I'm entertaining as well. Should I tell you guys what it is? I'll tell you guys what it is. So it's the Wagoner wide that we saw from 844 Imports plus cash. I'm considering it. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I really don't want to sell the car at all, but I'm funding a lot of projects. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm picking up a K-truck tomorrow. I'm picking up my Daihatsu Mirror walkthrough in early May. I got the mystery car that I showed you guys on Patreon. That's going to be here in July. And then I also want to go back to Japan in August. So a lot of things are happening. Trust and believe. But step 1 is selling the Alto, getting rid of this. We are down to 115 slots, and that's in about 5-6 days. So I was thinking maybe live drawing next week. If not, we'll do the live drawing probably the week after that. I don't think this is going to go into May. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the things that I love and the things that I dislike about this car. So let's start with the 5 things I love first. I'll name the 5 things I hate afterwards. First and foremost, for this being a K car, we all know they're not the biggest vehicles. And this being a 2-door hatchback, surprisingly, the newer ones, this one being a 1999, there's actually a lot of space back here. On older generation Altos, the seats back here basically don't exist. But this one, even all the way back, like you can see all the way back, my knees don't touch. And I can sit back here comfortably. I can even adjust it to go back a little further back. But for this being a 2-door hatchback, I am impressed. You guys see, look, my knees aren't even touching. I even have some leeway. I'm about like 5'9", 5'10". And not only is the leg room and everything a lot better, they also give you like little storage cubbies on each side. It even has 2 cup holders back here. So I would say surprisingly, this car is actually a lot bigger than what the exterior shows, which is kind of like the creme de la creme, exactly what a K car really stands for. Second thing I love about the Alto is that it's pretty low key. One thing about these cars, that doesn't matter if you're having the worst day ever, someone is still gonna give you a thumbs up. They're gonna want to talk to you at the gas station. They're going to learn more about it. They're gonna say, hey, how much horsepower does it have? Does it get 50 miles per gallon? And this one being low key kind of weeds those people away to some degree. Whenever I drive the cappuccino around, it doesn't matter if I just got a flat tire, if I just lost $1,000, someone's gonna be like, nice car, how much horsepower does it have? And that's cool, you know, it's an ego boost, everyone loves your car. But this one kind of blends in. It looks like a Toyota Matrix or just a normal little white hot hatch. I would say the Minica that was also similar to this stood out a lot more, but this one's a lot taller and it's a lot newer. It just looks a lot more modern. So I love that I can drive this, and you know, some people will break their neck, some people won't. It isn't like an automatic eye catcher like if you're driving a K truck or a K van. Like, it doesn't matter where you go in one of those, people are always going to want to talk to you. So if you're on the anti-social side, you know, maybe an Alto is a car you should get. Because for me, I'm always going to do underglow, yellow calipers, LED headlights, like a double din radio. But you can do that essentially to any car. But when I could find specific stuff like strut bars, intakes, and blow valves, it completely changed the game and like the way that I view the car. There could be a car I don't necessarily like the Honda Acti, but in all honesty, that car has so much aftermarket support. There's people who run bags, there's people who run exhaust, there's people who engine swap them. Like, when you buy an Acti, you know that you could find essentially anything. Same like with the Sandbar, and same with like the Altos, honestly, and the Cappuccinos and the Beats. Like, those cars have great communities. Honestly, most of the cars that I bought, same with like the Jimny, I try to get the cars that have huge communities, but then I sprinkle in some cars like a boring Minica. Number 4 kind of piggybacks off number 3. So I'm gonna start the Alto now. And really what I'm I'm getting at is because of the aftermarket support, the driving experience on this all-wheel drive turbo hot hatch little K car is 100% better because of the strut bar, the intake, the blow valve, really the little things. It doesn't take much to turn 64 horsepower into extra miles per gallon, but because of the little things I did, the driving experience on this car, like I said, is just even better. We're gonna drive it in this video for sure. And then I would say number 5 is just, this is a really great daily. It's kind of similar to the Honda Z, but this one is actually 5-speed. It's a 99, so it has all the new K car technology. It has fog lights. It has an eco button, which basically doesn't allow you to get too high on the RPM because it has electronic throttle body. It has power mirrors, which is a big flex on these K cars. Rear wiper, defroster, has space for a double din. It even has 2 cup holders up here, 2 over here like I mentioned, and then it's spacious. The only thing it doesn't have is an airbag, which is pretty surprising, but I think like the newer ones right after this, or even some of the ones that have the same year, have an airbag here and there. But the headroom is great, the space is great. You can be 6'1", 6'2" and drive this with no problem, and it's just overall a good looking K car. Like, that's why I got it. I was like, should I get this? I know I'm getting the mirror walkthrough pretty soon, but I was like, all-wheel drive, turbo, 5-speed. I saw that it had a lot of aftermarket support, and it's clean. It was clearly repainted in Japan, because there's no way it could be this clean. But I don't even know if I ever spoke about that before, but this thing is mint. It's like white. So yeah, that's pretty much the 5 things I love about the Alto. I'm gonna drive it later, but let's talk about the 5 things that I hate / dislike, which is pretty hard to count. So the first thing I hate about the Alto is that it's new, which we love, but it's new, which we hate. And what I mean by that is it's so new that, yes, I can find parts in Japan because people in Japan have had this car for years, but you try to find any information of this car online and there's little to nothing. Which was one reason why I bought it. I was like, you know, when people start buying this later this year or next year, I'm happy that my videos would show how to do like the spark plugs, DIY intake, you know, stuff like that. I was able to get some perspective on this car prior to someone buying it. But to find simple things like an oil filter, to find what transmission fluid I had to put, to really find any information, if it wasn't for the dude in Canada, it'd be pretty difficult for me to regularly maintain this vehicle. And that's someone who's owned 13 K cars, so I kind of know, like, check the Facebook groups, check the forums, check the Reddit, check Japan, ask people if they had a car. That's how I even got in contact with the Canadian dude. But because this car is so new, unlike the older Altos or unlike the Suzuki Cappuccino, it isn't the easiest to find information out there. 2 would be kind of the same thing I said for 2 that I love, is that it is low-key. I mentioned when I went to that car meet in DC that no one really cared about the Alto, and I was kind of half joking, half serious, but think about someone who spent a lot of money on this car. They've been saving up for months and years. They end up buying it and no one really gives you a thumbs up or anything. If you're someone who wants that attention, because this kind of just looks like a regular hot hatch, it doesn't really look too JDM, it doesn't really look too K car-ish, buying this won't really get you that type of attention if that's what you're looking for. Of course, you can do more things to it and kind of spice up any car. You can buy a Kia Soul, make it the loudest car ever. You can buy any car and make it the loudest car. You can put decals all over. You can wrap it. You could definitely make it a lot louder than a white little egg. Keep that in mind. Like I said earlier, it's low-key as far as the way it looks, and it's low-key as far as attention. There's just not much information out there for us Americans. And then, to be honest, that's pretty much it. I love this thing. I can't really think of 3 more things that I genuinely dislike. Yes, I can like nitpick and find some other stuff, but those are the 2 things that I would say like came to the top of my mind. Honorable mention on something else that I love, I forgot to talk about it. These seats, these are like proper bucket seats and they actually hug you in. Makes the driving experience even more comfortable. Another honorable mention of something I love, forgot to talk about the trunk space. This is pretty great because if you pull this and that one, the seats go down, you get a lot of storage, and this one also has a little privacy thing here. And then you would think that it most likely doesn't have a spare, but not only does this one have a spare, but also has the tools. So more things that I love. Maybe I won't find 5 things I hate, and I could just name 10 that I love. If I'm being a K-car Karen, I guess you could say the MPGs aren't amazing, but it's an all-wheel drive car, so of course it's not gonna be the best. Maybe it's like high 20s, low 30s. Quick little side break before we start driving the Alto. The Toppo just got here. Check this out. That's pretty sick. He's buying my black rims. The Horde is downsizing for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna make a full video on this thing. 5-speed. He said it's very quick. Let's see if that's actually true. Or at least being an NA. Here's what it looks like under here. And then the new wheels. two hot hatches, and surprisingly, look at the size of the BJ compared to the Alto. Somehow makes the hot hatch look a lot smaller. Even back here, look how tall it is. Just when I thought the video was over, we got 3 K cars back to back. Shout out to the Wagoner. All my OGs know that this was, what, maybe like my 4th K car. I bought it at 844 Imports. I love this thing. This was one of the fastest K cars I had that were automatic. This is probably even faster than that one, honestly. This thing used to pull. This dude bought it. He's having like alternator belt problems, so he's kind of just sitting on it. But I put these rims on. Nice little TBT. I put this exhaust. Got that exhaust straight from Japan. Still got the cool seat over here. If you guys remember, you just pull this. You got your little grocery getter. Shout out to that Wagoner wide. Maybe I'll pick that up. But yeah, even being automatic, this thing was one of my favorite K cars. This was the car that I wanted to learn how to wrap in, but I ended up wrapping the Jimny instead. But here's how the decals look. I think it's pretty sick. Big fan. You can't even tell. Like, I love that every time I do this, they always tell me, and people always tell me like, yo, it looks so good. And it kind of makes me feel good because it says WayBeforeTheFame. Like, I'm still kind of repping WayBeforeTheFame, but not pushing it too much, because at the end of the day, this is a waffle car and someone's gonna win it in a week or so, and they could just take that off. So I try not to put something too invasive. Like, I don't want to put follow WayBeforeTheFame on YouTube. Like, that's a little annoying. I wouldn't want to drive around with someone's car that said that. But I feel like the subtle little look there, same for the cappuccino, how it's in the bottom, it could stay there forever. But I'm in this video here. Shout out to Impress Auto Styling again. I will be coming here more and more. I want to do stuff like this to every car. I wanted to do this to the Beat. I did it to the Bravo. I want the Mira to have this. I want every car I buy, even maybe the I'm gonna pick up tomorrow. I want every car to have a little sprinkle of WayBeforeTheFame. Nothing too much, but at least a little some. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Remember the name. This is WayBeforeTheFame.